All right. So I'm sure the rest of the room has heard how loud the baseball table has been over the last 40 minutes. So number one, I apologize. However, not having seen these guys in 15 years, if you know anything about college sports and especially college baseball, we bust each other's chops mercilessly. So in the spirit of that, number one, I'd like to thank the Felician administrative team for asking me to honor my former teammate and longtime friend, Dennis Hulse. Before I talk about how great and wonderful Dennis is, I'd like to recognize our teammates, some that came a very long way to honor Dennis tonight. Coach Joe McCleskey came up from Florida just for this.
Joey!
Just for this, by the way. I don't know if that says more about how much he likes Dennis or how little he has to do with his time. Nothing. Joe lives in Florida. There's nothing like spending his vacation in sunny old New Jersey. But really, it is great to see a lot of former teammates of ours that I haven't seen in years. A once great Felician all-time pitcher, Chris Eshelman is here. Ash, can you stand on the chair so everyone can see in? Really cool. Kirk Johnson also. Kirk, magnificent lifetime ERA of 2.38. Whoop, hold on, wait, no, there's a crumb there, 23.8. Speaking of former players, you know they say the best coaches are actually the guys who never really played but observed the game from the sidelines and learned. Well, two-time state coaching champ Chris Summerholt is here. I just did that on purpose because it wouldn't be a gathering with us if we didn't do that to each other, and I love each one of these guys, and I haven't seen them in a long time, and again, it wouldn't be us if we didn't do that. But that was life on the road, and any college athlete knows bus trips, hotel rooms, and things like that. You know, it's what we did, and you know, speaking of that, it really is great to see how far the Felician baseball program has come from its humble beginnings when we all played there. For one, having a home field. Nothing like playing home games when we were there in Moonachie, Camden, Somerset, Lyndhurst. I could go on. Having to rake and drag our own fields, paint our own dugouts. Yes, we actually did that one day after practice. Or having to explain to other people on road trips where Pelican College was from, because we haven't gotten our name on the map yet, and clearly that's much different now. Taking bus trips on 4 separate weekends in the same month to Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, West Virginia. We logged a lot of miles. Now the current baseball team actually goes to Hawaii, and they actually fly places. You know, staying in highway motels like we did in Homestead, Florida, and now the Grand Floridian is a common travel destination for Coach Langen and his staff. Us older guys have a common term when it comes to that. Must be nice. But in all seriousness, I wouldn't trade those memories for anything, and the bond that's built amongst us that are here tonight and others is something that cannot be replaced. And to see what the current program is doing, winning conference championships, getting regional bids, in addition to major league draft picks being commonplace, is truly a testament to the current coaching staff and the administration here. So now on to the man of the hour, well, one of the folks of the hour. I've known Dennis for just over 20 years, and I've had the opportunity to play baseball with him in high school, college, and coach a little bit with him at the high school level. And yet I still manage to somehow get up here and say nice things about him. I'll say this first before I start to lose anyone to the open bar. I mean, it's already 8:45. Dennis Hulse is by far and away the smartest baseball player I've ever played with, hands down. Notice I didn't say the best, and that's actually a compliment, because Dennis wasn't the fastest, he wasn't the strongest, he wasn't the best hitter, definitely not the best looking, but he had something that few players have, something you cannot teach: instincts and hustle. Dennis was always the smartest guy in the field, and he hustled every step of the way, and he led by example. Perfect example, Dennis is actually Felician's all-time leading base stealer, not because he's fast, I can guarantee you that, but because he was smarter than everybody else, and he knew exactly what he was going to do and take advantage of other teams' weaknesses. Speaking of leading categories, Dennis leads Felician baseball record books in actually 3 categories, and he's actually in the top 3 in several others. He is Felician's all-time leader in batting average at .393, which is actually higher than his current credit score. Sorry, but I have to say something. I'm saying too many nice things about you. I got to hammer you a little bit. But Dennis was always a coach on the field, and I know JR just mentioned his current coaching credentials from last year. So I played with Dennis as a very nervous sophomore, and I can still remember back then Dennis was putting me in position every single play. He was coaching me when I was a 15-year-old kid. That also followed in college when I pitched, and Dennis would be standing behind me, telling me his opinion on what I should and shouldn't do, whether I wanted it or not. But he always had the best interests of the team in mind. So that being said, it's actually no surprise that he's had such tremendous success as a coach for the current New Jersey State champion St. Mary Gales. That's right. Dennis has led his team to multiple state championship appearances, county semifinals, and countless league victories. Dennis has won over 180 games in his short coaching career so far. And the one thing that I can guarantee you is that his players did one thing every game. They played the game the right way, just as Dennis would. Dennis did that, and it was the only way he knew how to play it, and it's the only way he knows how to coach it. Any young man that gets to play for Dennis is very fortunate, because not only will they know how to play the game the way it was meant to be played, but they will also learn how to be men, challenge themselves, and always get better and always strive to outwork and out-hustle their opponent. That was probably the most nice things I've said about Dennis in the last 20 years, so I'll stop. I'd like to ask Dr. Crisco to come up to formally induct Dennis into the Hall of Fame.
Dennis, would you join us, please? I am honored to induct Dennis Hulse into the Felician University Athletics Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Justin's mocking me right now, saying he knew I wrote something down. I always claim I can never write something down and come up here and speak. But keep an eye on Justin. He's all a little disappointed in all his jokes that he had to write down and read off of paper, so it takes a little dig there. Also keep an eye on Justin, because he's the king of Irish goodbyes. So by the time I'm done with this, he may or may not still be there, because there is an exit right behind him. There's a lot of people I want to thank tonight. The committee, obviously, me being here tonight, them voting me in, much appreciated. You know, Mark Mentone and I going back and forth, and I had never met Mark. You know, him and I going back and forth, I really feel like we created a bond by the 2 a.m., the 3 a.m., and the 4 a.m. messages of how many people are coming, not coming, are your daughters coming, can we get a full table, are we paying before or after? So him and I can't wait to have a shot and a beer with him after. But Mark, I do appreciate it. And a lot of people, you know, when JR said you deserve a lot of credit, you do, because this night would not happen without you. He does deserve a lot of credit. I have a lot of family and friends here. I want to thank them. My daughters, Bryn and Bailey, the crazy ones walking all around. My teammates, my coaches. I don't want to thank Justin yet, because he mocked me so much, but Justin Sokol also. You know, it takes your teammates and your coaches and your family to actually come to a night like this. And I appreciate that, and I thank all of them, you know, for everything they've done. And, you know, and I don't write a lot of things down, because, you know, I have a simple couple of notes, and it's based off of, you know, if you look, you'd laugh at it. It's based off of coaches and teammates. And, you know, I want to really thank my first coach. You know, my background real quickly, I didn't go to Felician from St. Mary's right away. It took me a year and a half at William Patterson. You know, my biggest regret, not taking that scholarship from Felician College. I played at Felician for 3 years. You know, Coach Ward was the first ever coach at Felician College. And he deserves a ton of credit to who he started the program. He got a ton of talented players in that program. You know, I didn't get to say hi to Eric tonight. Eric's back there. I got a ton of teammates over here. And what Coach Ward did, and we laugh a little bit. JR, I promise, 3 minutes, I'm done. I promise. When Coach Ward got that position, the joke in the dugout was that the baseball season started till the following year. So he got the job a little early, and everyone said he would coach high school baseball, Coach Ward. Anyone who knows Coach Ward, he's always doing things with baseball. And when you come into the batter's box, somehow he was the home plate umpire, but you leave with a Felician application in your back pocket. Coach Ward did that.
That's true.
He wanted Felician to really excel, from the get-go. And the type of person he is, a year and a half later, that scholarship that he offered me in high school, when he knew I was looking to transfer, he shows up at my front door, Hickory Street. My father's sitting there with a beer. Coach Ward may or may not have had a beer with my father. Not a recruiting violation. And he sat there, and you know what he said to my father and said to myself? I'm going to honor that same scholarship that I offered your son a year and a half ago. And it speaks volumes of the type of person he is. The loyalty, and the reason I get a little emotional because the reason I'm up here is because of him. And I had a lot of good coaches at Felician. I should say I did have 3, but Coach Ward was the reason how I got there, and I thank him for that. He knows I'm appreciative of that. If he could stand up just so people don't know him, I thank Coach Ward. Coach Fenson couldn't be here. I thank him also. He coached me for a year. Like I said, I was here for 3 years. And, my next coach was Coach Langen. Coach Langen, I thought we were just speaking before. Obviously Chris is the current coach at Felician College. And I think I was 22 or 23, my junior year. Chris just, fell into the job. He was probably 26-ish. And we had a great relationship. I kind of think I was sort of the leader of the team, and he looked at me like that. And I thank him for many reasons, because his goal is always looking out for the players. My goal was to play at the next level. Somehow, some way I wanted to. I probably wasn't fast enough, I wasn't quick enough, I wasn't big enough, I didn't have enough power, whatever it may be, and him and I spoke all the time. He would put me at shortstop, put me at third base, and then my senior year, he started pitching me more, thinking that could get me to the next level. And he let me be me. And, when my arm was sore, he said, all right, play second base. And then I moved to first base, my arm was sore, because I would start pitching a lot, thinking that would get me to the next level. And I truly appreciate what he did for me, and I did get to the next level because of him. And he doesn't realize, the things he did for me, where he allowed me to be the leader of that team. And Chris, I do appreciate that. Coach Chris Lange is awesome. Some of my teammates a lot are here, and I wish they would all come up, but they're not. I'm not going to bother them with that. Most of them that are here, there's 6 or 7. Some of my best friends today, and I think that that does mean a lot. And Justin. That whole table, us busting chops is truly, so for me to sit up here and write a speech and look down, I don't think it would be real to these guys. Joe coming from Florida, these guys I see in the summer all the time. Coach Chris Summerhall, who I coach against. He's never beat me, by the way, Coach.
Liar. Liar.
Thank you, Val. Go get us. One of my favorite moments, and I thank Felician, for the moment that I'm about to talk about real quickly is, Joe, I want you to go home and tell your father I thank him for this. When I graduated, I didn't get drafted. I had nowhere to play. And Coach McCluskey reached out to some people, got me a tryout up in New Haven. And I had stopped, I gave up on baseball. And I went up to this tryout. I told my dad, I said, I got a tryout. He's like, let's go. He didn't think twice about it. Drove up to Connecticut, tried out. He's like, so what happened? I'm like, I have no idea. So we drive home. I think 2.5, 3 hours from Connecticut. Week goes by and happened to be the, early August it was. And coach calls, he says, we want you to come up, play for us, sign your contract, finish the rest of the year with us. And, you know, I shed a tear, waiting for my father to come in, told him, he's like, well, what are we waiting for? We can get to the game tonight. He gets in the car, we drive right up to Connecticut, get right to the first game. In my head, when I get there, I'm like, why is he really pushing? But I didn't realize it was Thirsty Thursday, it was $1.60 draft. We got there for that first game. I got there within 3 hours when I got that phone call. And, you know, that's why my point was, I thank Felician, because if I didn't have Felician, you know, for that opportunity, he wouldn't have had an opportunity. I didn't mean the 60-ounce dress. I just meant him seeing me. And I swear we didn't, and it was the 1 month that I played, and the season was over at the end of August. And I'll never forget it. It was a Friday, we're driving, whatever. I got my first ever professional check. $815 for the whole month. And I was ecstatic. And the whole ride home, the only thing I'm doing with this check is I'm gonna frame it. I'm never touching this check the rest of my life. I was proud of this moment. Dad, whatever, this check is staying in my room wherever I go forever. I swore by it. I'm not going anywhere. So it's Friday, Labor Day weekend. My buddy calls me up. He says, we're all hitting the shore. Within 10 minutes, I took that check to the bank, went to the Jersey Shore, spent every bit of that $815 Labor Day weekend. But I promise, it didn't mean a lot to me, but I spent it on my friends who were at the shore. You know, and I leave it with, and I already know I've done it twice. I thank Felician for where I'm at now, because I don't think I'd be coaching at St. Mary's, be at St. Mary's if it wasn't for Felician. I'm the Dean of Discipline at St. Mary's. You know, leaving the police force, getting to St. Mary's. I think Felician helped me in so many ways to get to, you know, where I am today. And, you know, I can't thank them enough. I love following Felician University. I love saying that now, Felician University. It's proud. I'm proud to say that. And you know, Chris Langan and I, we talked quite a bit about the baseball program. Justin spoke a lot about it, where it was and where it is now. You know, it started with Coach Ward, and now it's with Coach Langan. And you know, I thank you guys for that, and I can't wait to keep following Felician and where it's going. And I will leave it with this. I will see all you guys at the Park Tavern after. Thank you.